morning. How y'all doing? I wanted to talk about something. A friend of mine did a video yesterday, and it really resonated with me, especially as being a black man. She was saying that we as men need to stay in our lane. She said there's a lane for us, especially if we want to be single. She's tired of men jump into relationships that they're really not ready for. Especially being a single woman who really wants a commitment, who really wants to be married again one day. So she says she's tired of men knowing damn well that's not what they want, but they still go after you. And when they go after you, they may get you. And then after that, there's nothing. Especially after the sex. It's just mostly a sex thing. Now I do agree with her somewhat, because there's a lot of us guys out here that, we confused. We don't know what we want. And sometimes we get with a woman that we thought that, we wanted. And then we realize a couple things that we don't like or whatever. And we ghost them. That has happened. I've seen people do that. But yeah, she said we need to stay in our lane. She said there's a lane for single men. But she also said there's a lane for single women. Stop crossing into the other lane. Being single sometimes is good. You can talk to anybody you want to. You can come and go. You don't have to tell nobody where you're going, all these things. So why are you coming into a lane where you're not going to do nothing there? You're not going to try to build. And when you get into a relationship, both of you are supposed to be trying to build, not take from one another. And I thought that was a very powerful message. For, like I said, she said men and women. She wasn't really trying to bash men. But what she was saying was real. If you're not ready and you confused, why lead somebody on? Why lead a woman on? Or why lead a man on when you know deep down in your heart you're not ready for that? Now, it's nothing wrong with a person, being confused or not ready. But the other person is just not feeling that, Like she was saying, she said, it's okay to be that way, the way you are. It's okay, but it's not okay when you talking to her. And a lot of times when we hear something like that, especially men, we think the woman is she's mean, and that's why she's single. But sometimes people be stern. She grew up on old principles where elders, treated, especially the men, they treated women differently back in the days. They treated love different back in the days. They treated marriage different back in the days. Like, I know you wonder how marriages stay 50 years, 30 years. People dedicated themselves to a relationship. And I know it wasn't all, perfect, but they don't give up. They didn't give up. Now today, we all quick to give up. We don't care, if your weave's out of place, you ain't got a dime in your pocket. We act like that's the end of the world. None of that is the end of the world. And so when you've been raised on morals and principles like that marriage means, something to you, relationships mean something to you, respect means something to you. A person cannot cross those boundaries. So a lot of times when men and women, they can't cross the boundaries. They label you as crazy. They label you as mean. And they label you as that's the reason why you're single. But no, you got principles. You got morals about yourself. So always keep that, because you don't want nobody walking all over you. You don't want nobody walking all over you and treating you less than. So you know your worth. So she was saying that, she said, I know my worth, I know how I was raised, and I can't let nobody come into my life with no BS, especially if I know deep down in my heart it's bullshit. It's a waste of time. It was a waste of her time. And I understood that. I've seen a lot of negative messages, mostly from men though. A lot of times men don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that truth. So, and the women definitely, in the background, they're not gonna say much. Because this goes for both men and women. Stay in your lane. If you want to be single, stay single. Do the single stuff. If you want to be in a relationship, do the committed stuff. Be committed. Do that. Stay there. Don't be flip-flopping, because you're playing with people's lives. A lot of times, us men, we with somebody we really don't want to be with, but we love a couple things that they do, maybe sex, maybe cooking or whatever. And we stay with them on them false pretenses. And then when you break up with them, the women go crazy, tearing up, cars, scratching up cars, busting out windows, and we wonder why. You can't play with people's emotions. Like I said, I ain't just talking about men, women too. This double-headed coin. So, both. If you're not ready, don't cross into that lane. Especially if you know a person looking for marriage, looking for a committed relationship. Stay in your own lane. It's easy to do. We have gotten away from what God want man and woman and family to be at. So we got to get back into that. All this worldly stuff, it's a mess. And it's crazy because that whole situation with her started because a man came up to her and he said, "You beautiful." She said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And so then the next thing came out of his mouth was like, "I'm married, and me and my wife would love to have you join us." She's like, "Hold up, join us? What you mean join us? You happily married, and what you mean join us? You heard what I said. Me and my wife would love to have you." She's like, "Damn." A married man out of the blue came up to her and wanted a threesome with his wife. Like, who does that? Who just comes up and, never seen you before, never talked to you? So she felt kind of strange. She's like, "Damn, do I have that written on my forehead or something?" So that's how the whole situation started. We don't have any respect for ourselves anymore. No morals, that we could just go up to random people and just try to include them into our mess. Everybody ain't with that mess. So we don't got off the tracks as far as relationship. We don't got, the train don't got off the tracks. So we got to try to get that back. I think she laid down a very powerful message for men and women. But she didn't bash men. She was just saying how she felt as a woman and her experiences. So I want to know what y'all think about that. We have definitely gone off the tracks, and we need to get back on. So that's my little message to y'all this morning. I'm Author Charles Lee Robinson Jr. I got to get the writing on this book today. Got a couple books I'm working on, but yeah, y'all want any of my books, go to my link, amazon.com/author/Robinson C. Or just go to amazon.com and put in my name, full name, Charles Lee Robinson Jr. And most of my books should come up. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And